Both my wife, Sarah, and I lived abroad as kids. I actually spent a year and a half on a Greek island. My parents were kind of hippies in the 70s, and that's what people did then. My wife lived, when she was a little older, closer to our daughter Graylin's age, in Spain for a semester. I've been running a university in the US and had a year-long sabbatical, and we were determined to take it abroad. So we spent 6 months in Copenhagen and 6 months at this extraordinary place, Green School, New Zealand. It's been magnificent. I'm writing a book about the rising generation of young learners around the world, particularly focused on the US. And our sense was, and our experience has been, that the Green School gets so much right. Small, focused classes, individual attention, dedicated teachers who this is their life as well. There's a really strong sense of nurturing learners. There's a lot of time for what we've lost in so much of the industrialized Western world, unstructured, free, creative play. The US has replaced that with focused, standardized tests, preparation for those tests, less recess, less time for art and music and what we think of as creative aspects of education. Green School emphasizes those specifically and precisely. So as someone writing about this, to actually live it through my daughter and through our participation as well has been incredible. The way education, we're realizing, I think, belatedly in the US should work is staggered experiences where there's focused learning time, literacy, outdoor learning, math, of course, etc., leavened with time for the brain to turn off a bit, create, play. It's during those times so much creativity happens. The typical American public school student we actually measure these things in the US, we love to measure productivity and so on, far less creative experiences and creative expressions than do students in schools like the Green School, which sadly are disappearing elsewhere as the world moves towards more standardized, focused, practical, shall we say, education. So the learning is happening both in the classroom and then in these inter-engagement, students learning and connecting with each other, what they've been studying and focused on leavening in again, and it comes out in a much more well-rounded, more creative, and still good at math, for example, kind of way. As parents, we've had an amazing time. We take surfing lessons with other parents. We work out with other parents. We do art gallery, evening, paint, and sip a little wine experiences. A group of us every Wednesday morning do a cold plunge in the river here and emerge with our hearts and bodies the better for it. We engage informally in all kinds of ways. Just this term, we've made that more formal with a group of what we call parent passion talks, sometimes for the whole school as an assembly, and sometimes just for one another. Parents have talked about their work in fashion, about cold plunging and other ways to biohack your experience and live longer. I've actually talked about my work with understanding the younger generation, how to learn. So we've had this wonderful communal experience as adults. It has been wonderful for our daughter. More than any school we've been part of, they involve and engage the parents, not in a kind of organized, formal, please contribute to our fundraiser way, but opening organically so that we can find ways of connecting with parents from around the world who have become really good friends. One aspect of Green School is that they really encourage creative expression among children. So 2 or 3 afternoons a week, our daughter comes home and acts out for us what her day was like. Or sometimes she grabs a mixer, an egg beater, and uses that as her microphone and tells us a story about what she learned that day. I've never seen anything like that in, again, more formal, routinized, routine-based, organized US education. It's a kind of free expression where she's working through what she learned again. And sometimes she gives us a talk about math. She gives us talks about biology. Often they've had outdoor education that day, and a couple times she's like, come to the school and see what we learned today. She's taken us to the greenhouse. She's taken us on a nature walk and showed us native trees and plants along the way. So we feel like we're participating, drawn into her education in a way that, again, is not our experience at US or even other European schools. Green School New Zealand has a formula, and I think it's evolving and organic. It really works. Our experience is that our daughter has grown during half a year here and developed in ways that are healthy, positive, and extraordinary. She's much less screens in her life, much more nature, creativity, structured learning, play, if we can put those together. It's like the kind of metaverse that's been created here at the Green School is so far superior to the online digital version that we couldn't be more thrilled. And I have a suspicion we'll be back. Let me contrast a universal experience for children in school worldwide, school pickup. 3 o'clock in the US at a wonderful independent school we love. The car line begins about 2:30. The first 15 parents drive their cars up 2 abreast. The children exit the school at 3 quietly. They wait. The child's name is on a placard, and this is universal in the US. Name is on a placard in the windshield. The first 15 children walk to the car. The supervisors make sure they're in and belted. A whistle is blown and 15 cars move away. The next 15 cars come and the experience repeats itself. Kids aren't running, they aren't playing, they aren't walking or biking off school. That's how it works. At Green School New Zealand, there's kind of a happy chaos at 3 o'clock, or maybe 3:30, or maybe 2:45. Half the students are off on a nature walk or down in the river or doing some kind of hikoi, outdoor experience. Other kids are staying to finish their art project. A parent will call to me, hey, can you take my daughter so-and-so home today because I forgot that I've got to do something after school here. There's a kind of, again, cheerful, happy chaos. The older kids are walking away together. You can see these bonds forming, and the school day not stopping at 3 o'clock where formal education is done and it's time to leave like robots, but a kind of continued boundary spanning informal experience that really strikes me as the essence of the Green School New Zealand experience.